Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our Rags to Riches challenge in Farming Simulator 25. It's day 2 slash month 2. We started in August. It is now September. Like one day in this game is basically equal to a month, or at least that's how I have it set up right now. We're still kind of on that early game grind. My tractor does need some fuel. We're getting a little bit low. You can see it's bright and early in the day, 4:30 a.m. We had a restless sleep, camped out next to our tractor here because we currently are homeless. We don't have any land of our own, and this is the only equipment that we have. So I'm going to head down. Where's the gas station? Over there. So I'm going to head down and refuel the tractor. And I just want to go over the rules again quickly in case you need a refresher or you missed the last episode. So we started with no land, none of our own equipment, and we started with a $100,000 loan. So we did have $100,000 in the bank, but that was debt, which is not ideal. So far we bought this tractor and this front end loader with pallet forks. We also have this weeder on the back, and we also have a fertilizer spreader. So that's all the equipment that we've managed to buy so far. I spent most of the first day, or all of the first day, I guess, just doing contracts. So as part of the rules here, we're not allowed to take out any additional loans past our initial starting $100,000. And we are not allowed to lease equipment. Now, we are allowed to do contracts, but we still have to follow the no leasing rule. So any contracts that we do, did I turn the right way? Yeah, I'm going the right way. So any contracts that we do have to be completed with our own equipment. So I've taken a quick look. I was hoping some of the sale equipment, you can see in here we have a sales tab for used vehicles, and you can get some pretty good deals in here, but I had a look and these are the same as yesterday, so nothing that we can really use at the moment. But we will be keeping an eye on that for sure to try and upgrade some of our equipment if we can find a good deal. But I have had a look at the contracts available, and we do have some good new contracts. We've got some decently high value fertilizer contracts, as well as we've now got cultivating contracts, which is pretty nice. So I think I'm going to buy a cultivator. The cheapest cultivator is pretty cheap, and then I can go do some of these cultivating contracts, which are nice because they don't require any input. We can do fertilizer contracts as well, but we have to pay for our own fertilizer when we're doing those. So they're not ideal. It's a little bit tough to make a profit on the fertilizer. But we're just going to check our contracts here. So these are the contracts that we can do. So most of these we can't really do. Like we can't do bale wrapping. We can't do harvesting. There's a bunch of harvesting contracts, which kind of makes sense because it is September. But we can't do any of these right now because we do not have the right equipment. We don't have any weeding contracts, which kind of sucks. So we can do these fertilizer contracts. These ones might take a little while, just because these fields are fairly large, but we would get a decent amount of money from these. So those are definitely an option. But the main ones I'm looking at here are these cultivating contracts. They will take a while as well, but they pay more per acre, I'm pretty sure, than the fertilizing contracts, and we don't have to put in any fertilizer. Or we don't have any input cost to that. We just have to buy the cultivator, and then we can go do these fields. So that's going to be the plan for now. So I'm going to accept all of these. So these are our active contracts. We have 19 hours to finish them. So I guess they probably expire at the end of the day here. So we should make some decent money from these guys. So I'm going to go into our store here. And if we look at our cultivator, so this is our cheapest guy right here, 9,500. Everything else is significantly more expensive than that. So I think we're going to stick with this guy, just because it's by far the cheapest one we can do right now. No customization options. This is also one of the few that can actually be pulled easily with our tractor. See the 110 horsepower requirement. We currently have a 116 horsepower tractor, so we're just over. 4-meter working width is not that great, so these fields are going to take a while, but this is pretty much our only option if we want to do these cultivator contracts, because we are trying to save up as much money as possible. And I'm not entirely sure what the difference between a cultivator and a shallow cultivator is. Let's see that. This one says it prepares for the next sowing, and this one is used for shallow cultivation or seed bed creation. So not exactly sure what the difference is there, but I'm pretty sure this one will work. So now we'll drive over to the store and we'll switch out our weeder for the cultivator, and we will go complete these contracts. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to change here is I did have the timescale set way down when I was just kind of looking at the menus here. So we're going to turn that up a little bit. I don't want it to go too fast because one of our big goals here is we need to buy some of our own land so we can stop grinding out these contracts here. But land is fairly pricey. So we don't want to spend any money we don't have to. We have to be pretty frugal here. So the shop is just up here. So we'll switch out for that cultivator, and we'll go do these fields. I'm gonna run this video a little bit different than the last one, where I had most of the fields in kind of like I did like a full time lapse of all the field work. I started to cut some of it out near the end of the video just because it was already getting pretty long. But I think I'm going to be more aggressive with the cutting on this one, just because it is going to be a bit of a grind at the beginning here. We're going to have to do quite a few of these contracts before we really get our own land or much of our own equipment here. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I'll probably do something like, I'll probably just show you guys like the first kind of pass in the field, and then I'll just kind of cut away until I'm done. I will do a few of the time lapses because I like when I'm watching farming simulator videos, I do enjoy those as well. Okay, let's check where our fields are here. It's 77, 34, and 93. So let's head up to this one first. Yeah, so as I was saying, I do like watching some of the time-lapse videos when I watch farming simulator videos as well, so I'll probably leave some of them in, but I think it's just going to be too tedious and it's going to take too long to show you everything. So I'm probably going to cut away once we get through. We're just going to try to grind through a bunch of contracts. I still haven't decided what our next purchase is going to be. We could potentially buy a baler to start selling silage, because there's a relatively cheap piece of land I was looking at that's about 45 grand, I think, that is already planted with grass. So we could start harvesting grass and making silage without having to buy our own planter, which would be nice for now, but I still haven't really decided. It's about 60 grand for the most basic round baler. But we're going to set up our steering assist. We don't need that many headlands. Let's go with 3 headlands. That's probably good. So this field is going to take a little while here, so I'll probably show you the first little bit and then cut away till the end here. But I'm not totally sure. I'll probably make those decisions in editing, but yeah, so now we have our lines here for us to follow. Got our fresh tank of gas, so we're just going to start our grind here. Starting to save up some money. So I'll see you on the other side of this field. Alright guys, looks like we're almost done this field. And we're done. Well, kind of done. Got to 100% anyway. Left this whole strip, but we can't really do anything with it once the contract completes. So that one is done. That actually wasn't too bad. Took a little bit of time, but this thing is fast enough that it's not too tedious. So I was thinking about it while I was doing that, and I'm sure I will have left that one as a time lapse. Just because I think like the first time I use a piece of equipment, I should probably do like the full thing, kind of show you guys what it's about. And then after that, it kind of gets a little bit repetitive, so I'll probably kind of cut some of the next fields out, or maybe I'll try and like edit them together into some sort of like cinematic supercut or something, but we'll see what happens with that. So we still have this fertilizing contract, which is kind of tempting. The only problem with this is like it's $6,000, but that's such a big field. Like we're going to use at least a pallet of fertilizer in there, I feel. So a pallet is like $2,000 each. So if we use like one pallet of fertilizer, that's like a third of the cost of doing that field. So it's not exactly ideal. So we got hoeing, we got no more weeding. We got no more cultivating ones that have come up yet. We might have to accept these ones before it'll give us any new ones. So yeah, I'm probably just going to go bang off these last two pretty quick. And then I'll check back in. Okay guys, we are almost done in this field here. That one took a minute. That is a big field, and it's got a steep hill in here. Okay, we're done. Yeah, this little old tractor kind of struggled to get up this hill. But we got her done. So I'm going to stop here. Let's cash out those contracts and see if we get any new ones. So yeah, that field was $7,200. Pretty good. Collect that one. That small one was 1,800, which isn't bad. That one was pretty quick. And then $4,000 for this one. So we've paid off our cultivator already, and then some. Made a little bit of profit on it already. And so anything we do with it now, from here on out, is going to be pure profit. But we don't have any new cultivating contracts that came up here. Might have to do this fertilizing one. Do we have any weeding? No weeding either. So I think I'm going to have to do these fertilizing ones. Oh, no, there's a cultivating one. Was that there before? Or did that just come up? 12. So that's way up in the northeast. So we can do that one though. I'll accept that one. I guess I will go do this next contract here. It's probably going to be a few more. So I'm probably just going to cut out of here, try and get a few more contracts done, and then I will check it back in with you guys once we have a little bit more money. So yeah, let's collect all these. That was $2,000 for that hilly field there. Not too bad. 2,300 for field 4 over there, and this was the big one, 3,500 for 41. Not huge, but not too shabby. So we're up over 60 grand. So not too bad. So yeah, I was looking. These are our grass fields that are currently planted with grass. If we wanted to get in and start doing hay, so this is one 60,000 for 2.5 acres. That includes this little strip out here, which I think is like a creek actually. So I don't think that's really usable. Couldn't plow it bigger. And then we have this little guy down here that's 44. It's not bad, but it's kind of tiny. It's only 1.8 acres, and not even all of that is actually field. It's got this piece out here. So there's like a couple trees maybe we could sell in there, but probably not worth the equipment that we'd have to buy to deal with them. But this would get us a little piece of land for fairly cheap. And then there's another one down here that's grass. There's only 3 grass fields in the whole map right now, but this one's 106. So that's probably a little out of our reach right now. So we could go with this one. 60 grand. I'd like to do a couple more contracts first just to get a little bit of a cushion so we're not totally broke if we buy that land. Even if we buy our own land here, where's our mowers? There they are. So this like cheapest mower we can get is 13.5, and we could just do it with this single one for now. And then eventually we could get this wider one, but this would work for now. Wouldn't be too bad on smaller fields. It's only 3.1 meters. This one's only $500 more for this front mower. And it's a little bit bigger, but then if you get to the double back one, I mean, it's a meter wider, but it's like double the price. So I don't understand why these ones are so close in price and these ones are so far off. But yeah, at the very least, like even if we buy this grass field, we need a mower. So then we're into it for another 13.5. We'd need a round baler. So the cheapest one there is 60 grand. And then we need this silage wrapper, because I don't think the grass is worth very much at all on its own. But if you ferment it into silage, it's worth quite a bit more. There is this really cheap baler that's 22 grand, but it's just a square baler, and none of the wrappers will be able to wrap these bales. So we could do that if we were just going to do grass. Or we could potentially get this cheap tedder and get it, turn it into hay, which I think would be worth slightly more. Or we could skip the grass altogether and buy some other field. So yeah, we still don't have a ton of options. Let's see if we got any more contracts coming up yet. Okay, so we got no more cultivating contracts. No more weeding contracts. That's unfortunate. no baling contracts anyway, so there is a mowing contract for 92. That looks like a fairly small field, right? Where's 92? Oh, that's that one we were thinking about buying. Or well, that's kind of out of our price range, but we could buy a cheap mower and start doing mowing contracts too. I just don't know. We're heading into winter here. I don't know how many there's actually going to be. So we're a little bit stuck here. There is the other option, I guess, like we could, what did I say? I think it was this field. Yeah, this one's really cheap, like 27 grand for this tiny field. Then we could at least have our own land. There's probably room to like throw some chickens on there or something, but I don't know if we want to do that yet. I think the next thing I should do, I think I'm going to do these 2 fertilizing contracts because they're actually decent payouts. I'm not sure how much money I'm actually going to make on them because I have to pay for fertilizer to do these, but it's really the only option without buying more equipment. So we'll at least be able to make some profit on these, I'm sure. So I'm going to go get these ones knocked out. I guess I need to find my, I don't even know where I left my fertilizer thing. Is this it? It's got to be it, right? I'm pretty sure I left my fertilizer bag over there too, but I might need to get more anyway. So I got to go get my fertilizer spreader. Probably go get more fertilizer from the store and then knock these 2 fields out. All right, so I ran out of fertilizer doing this field. This little thing that only holds 300 liters, like I can't even make it down and back and without having to refill. But I had to go buy another big bag or another pallet of fertilizer, and when I filled it up, it didn't actually show it filling for whatever reason. Like you can see, if you look at the bar down in the right corner or the bottom right corner there, you can see that it shows solid fertilizer in my spreader here, but when I look at it, I can't see any, which is weird because you can it usually shows it filling up, but I don't know, the animation for it filling is glitched or something, so it looks like it's empty even though it's still full. So yeah, it's looking like we'll probably use about 900 liters of fertilizer for this field, which is pretty close to a whole pallet, which is like 2 grand. So yeah, it definitely cuts into your profits quite a bit. All right, we finished another fertilizing contract over on this field. Fertilizer spreader is still glitched. It's full right now, but you can actually see right there. Yeah, it's 300 liters in there, but no visual fertilizer, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we finished those ones, so let's collect both of those. See, that one was 6 grand, but we spent close to 2 grand in fertilizer. So that's really only a $4,000 contract for that huge field. Like if that was cultivating, I mean what was field 41. I can't remember now, but that one was like $4 grand, and that's probably less than half the size. So yeah, I don't know why this fertilizing doesn't pay very much. I wonder if it's just like purely time based, or how fast it'll think you can do it. Because that's the only thing that really makes sense. Because that fertilizing it's relatively quick compared to the cultivating or the weeding, just because it's got a fairly wide working width. But yeah, it's annoying that you have to pay for the fertilizer. Like, this person should pay for the damn fertilizer if they're getting their land fertilized, you would think. But anyway, then collect both of these contracts. Do we have any new ones? We got this one crappy little fertilizing one still. A ton of harvesting ones. Nothing else we can do really, like no weeding. I feel like that one would take a long time for that much money. Some of these prices don't make a lot of sense. Man, you get 17 grand for harvesting that one. Oh, that's a beet field. Oh my God. That would take 5 days. I don't think that's enough. I think you should be paying like double or triple that for how long that field would take. Jesus. But anyway, I don't know. I don't really even want to bother with this stupid fertilizing one. By the time we pay for the fertilizer, it's only going to be worth $300. So we've got almost 70 grand. We're really close to being able to buy that other baler. We could buy a piece of land, but there's really not much we can do with it. But I mean, there's no baling contracts right now anyway, so I'm kind of worried about buying a baler right now if we're not actually going to be able to use it. They can make any money. I might be better off buying a mower, because there's this one mowing contract that's actually not a bad price for how big that field is. Do we buy a mower? I mean, we're probably going to need one eventually anyway. We can get one relatively cheap. I'm just scared. Scared that we're not going to have a lot of contracts going into winter here. So I don't want to spend a lot of money, because we might just end up having to like fast forward through winter a little bit. And then we got to make sure we have enough money in the bank to cover the interest payments on our loan. How much was that? I never did check. Let's see. Okay, so we're making decent income. We've already beat yesterday's income last month's, but okay, it's $333 per month for loan interest, which isn't too bad, but we do have to make sure we leave, if we're fast forwarding time, we need to leave enough money. Okay, I was just looking at the store for a while, looking at different options, and not really making any decisions. But then I checked the jobs again, and a new cultivating job just came up. So I'm going to do that one, I guess. And hopefully by the time I'm done that, there's something else that's come up I can do. This is cool. Watch when I drive through this water. I like that effect. You get the waves, the ripples going out into the pond. I noticed that when I drove through there, going to that field. It was pretty cool. They do a pretty good job with some of the details. And now if you look at my wheels, the wheels all look nice and wet. Okay. Drop this stuff off. I need to go collect my cultivator, the new field. Which one are we doing? Yeah, we're doing this field right there. So not too big. It's worth like $3 grand, I think that contract was. Oh, another fertilizing one came up. It's not that good though. Yeah, nothing else really good. So we'll do this cultivating one, and hopefully something else comes up by then.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? To fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
All right, one more contract finished and cash that one out. Okay, 72 grand so far. It's 3:30 in the afternoon basically. So we've been working all day. I think we almost need gas again here. Yeah, probably get gas on the way to that next field. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stop checking in. This is really getting a lot more grindy than I had expected. I thought some of these contracts would be worth more, but I wonder maybe they are different in because I think I was looking at them before in my my other game, like my test game that I started before I started recording. And I thought some of the, am I even going the right way here? Yeah. I thought a lot of the contracts were worth a little bit more, but now that I think of it, I did have that game on easy economic difficulty, and this one is on medium, so I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. I thought it only affected like crop prices, but I'm wondering if that also affects contract prices. Actually, I wonder if I could check that right now. Like, what if we just change our difficulty to easy? Actually, I guess we should leave it where it is, and let's look at a few of these. So I doubt this one's going to change since we've already accepted it, but you never know. But like bale wrapping, 990, 1200, 1289, and 463. So I'm going to try to remember those top ones. Oh, it says right there. Also, the revenue of contracts is based on this factor. I guess I should have actually looked at that before. So how much difference does that make? Okay, yeah, we can see. I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. Like wasn't that one 900 before or something? So it added like $100 or so. So that does make a little bit of a difference. They're worth a tiny bit more, but not as big of a difference as I was kind of hoping. But I guess I am going to leave that on easy for now, as we're doing these contracts here, just to get out of this grind a little bit more, because it is taking a long time to get to where we can really do anything in terms of buying our own land or actually getting to produce anything ourselves. So I am going to turn that down to easy and leave it there for now. And I guess just kind of bang out a few more contracts. And I think I'm just going to go until I hit 100 grand or we hit the end of the day. And then I'll check in again and see how we're doing. Okay. Um, Finished another 3 contracts here. It's not quite the end of the day, but it's getting dark, and I'm not having any more cultivating ones come up. I think I have to clear these. Yeah, so we made a little bit more money here. So we're up to 80 grand. Not doing too bad, but this is taking a long time. So I'm going to let the time roll a little bit more to see if any more. Okay, we got one more cultivating come up, but we're not getting a whole lot else. No weeding contracts for this whole month. It's interesting. Nobody does weeding this month. I guess nobody's planting at all. I guess we haven't seen any seeding either. But everybody is cultivating. So I guess I'll do this one. And then I might just fast forward it till the next day. And then see what we got. See if we get any new equipment coming up. Because we still don't really have anything. Maybe we'll get lucky if we advance a day. Maybe we'll get some good equipment here on a deal that we can use. I was toying. I did use an AI worker for like half of a field, just because I was toying with the idea of buying a second tractor and another implement, like either another cultivator or a plow. Because some of these plowing contracts aren't too bad, but they are. I find plowing to be kind of a pain because the working width is so small, but could potentially buy another tractor or even if we get another cultivator or something or a mower, and then we could have an AI worker working at the same time that we are to try and do like twice as many contracts. But that is still an option I'm playing with, but they do take quite a bit of money. Like I let the worker run for like only 60% of the field before I took it over because he was taking too long. And it wasn't maybe the best example because it was a pretty steep field right beside that other one that I did that was pretty steep. So it was taking him a long time to do that one. But I only let him go for like 60% of the field, and I think it cost like $300 or $238 for that wage payment. So that's not too bad, but it was only like a $3,200 contract or something. So he definitely eats into the profits. But we'd still be making money for sure if we had a second tractor with an AI worker running. So I'm not quite sure if I should do that. Still only got one cultivating contract coming up. But I guess we'll do that because that's about all we can do. And then, yeah, I think I'm just going to fast forward until tomorrow morning to start a new day. We do have a little bit of money now. So I'm going to, we might as well sleep on it and come back and decide what we want to do with this money because we could potentially buy a piece of land and a mower. And I guess we could we could almost buy a cheap trailer too, and then we could get a bucket and then kind of scoop up grass and sell that. That'd probably be the cheapest way to get into it, but I'd really like to have a baler. But I'm kind of thinking we buy this field right here for 60 grand, 2.5 acres. It's kind of in a good spot if we wanted to expand into We got another one here for 52. So we got a couple other reasonable priced fields right along here. There's this one here that I'm tempted, but it's kind of small. It's only 1.8 acres, and it's not even all field. There's like a fair bit that's not planted right now, so we'd have to deal with that. I think this one is the much better investment right now. It's got much more workable area, and it's in a more central location. This one is kind of off in the middle of nowhere too. Very tempted to buy this field. I kind of want to do it right now because I'm a little bit worried that he's going to replant it into something else. Because I did stop in there, like I did visit it, and it has just been harvested. So I'm slightly worried, but usually you keep grass going for a while. So yeah, I'm just going to do this one other cultivation and then fast forward till morning, and then we'll see how things are going. Oh, this one came up. That one's $9,000. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I guess we're going to do these ones. It finally came up. Okay, we better turn our time back down. I might even knock that down to real time. It's 8 o'clock. But that should be a decent little payout if we get these 3 done. All right. This is taking a long ass time, but we're almost to the point where we can start buying our own land and producing our own stuff, and then it all kind of builds on itself too. It's always slow to get started, but the more you get, the easier it is to get more. So it kind of grows exponentially. Big grind to get our first little piece of land and our first bits of equipment. But then once we start being able to bring in our own crops and buy more and more land, before you know it, we'll have half this town taken over. Guess I should be driving with my lights on. Yeah, let's start with this one since it's right here. And I will see you guys once these 3 are done. All right, guys, finished up with those last 3 fields. And I already accepted them. I was accepting them as I went to hopefully get new cultivating contracts to spawn in here, since it seemed like I can only have a max of 3 at a time. But no more have spawned in, and it's been a while now since I completed the first one. At least you'd think at least one more would come in. So, I have this last one to collect. But yeah, I think I might be done for cultivating contracts for this month. So, think I'm going to call it here for today in terms of field work. It's been one hell of a day grinding away. I did hire a worker to complete one more field, just so I could run and take my dog for a quick walk. So in total, we spent $800 on AI workers. So that last one was probably like 600, and that was for that biggest field. So it was actually not too bad. It was a lot more reasonable on a flat field where he wasn't struggling to go up the hill so much, because that was really dragging on the time. And I think the workers' wages are time-based. So yeah, today we made $55,000 in contract income, so quite a bit better than yesterday. We've got $93,000 total. We've got 7.4 hours on our tractor already. And it's about a third damaged, I think, I would say, by looking at that bar. And we're back down. We spent a fair bit on fuel today, too. Fuel costs $500. I guess that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be more than that. We had to fill up quite a few times. So fuel costs are not too bad. But yeah, I'm going to call that for contracts for today. So we're going to fast forward to tomorrow. We're going to let the clock roll till midnight here. I just want to see if any of the fields change at midnight. If we get any other options for grass fields or anything like that. So we'll crank up that speed. We should be almost there. Another loan interest payment. Okay, let's turn this back down for a second. And let's double check our map. Okay, all our grass fields stayed the same. So it's either this tiny one for 44 grand. That one's still out of reach. Or we can buy this one. 2.5 acres for 60 grand. We actually are right here anyway. Let's go take a look at this field quickly. So this is the field. So it's already 100% fertilized and yield bonused, other than rolling, I guess, but I don't usually bother with that last 3% anyway. Not worth the time. All right. I think, I think this is going to be it. Field 29 is going to be our first land purchase. So, this money was hard earned. I'm hesitant to spend it now, but we need some of our own land. And I think this is the best option to get us going with a pre-planted or a pre-planted grass field that we can just start harvesting. Yes, I would like to buy it. All right. We have our first land, field 29. Feels good to finally have a piece of property we can call our own. Now our land does go all the way to, where does it go? Right to this far road. So technically it comes to like all the way over here. But I don't know if we can plow this up or what, or if we can use this little area here to maybe start some animals or something. Might be able to get some sheep in this area because we've got from here essentially all the way down to here. So we might be able to put some kind of animal pen in there, get some sort of production going off of there. But yeah, all right. We have our first land. It's 1 a.m. This guy has been working since about 4:30 in the morning, so I'm sure this guy is tired. But at least we don't have to camp out on someone else's land anymore. We have our own land. And I really should go get my equipment and bring it over here now that we have our own spot, but I'm sure it'll be fine out there. And we are very exhausted. It's been a long day of field work, so we're going to sleep here. And that's going to do it for episode 2. And episode 3, we can actually start working our own land. So that was a bit of a grind, but we're starting to get there. And as I said, it's all going to build on itself. So the more we get, the faster it'll grow. So good night, everybody. And I'll see you in the morning. Thanks for watching.